Hi, so this is Lena from Sweden, and I just wanted to make a short video clip with some comments about the protests that we're seeing in all of France right now in December 2018, because I like to spread hope and additional information and news and aspects and angles to what we always see in mainstream media. So first of all, I'd like to state a few obvious things, like number one, I don't defend violence. I think that violence is always a bad idea, unless it's self-defense. But then again, all the protesters in France right now are not violent. So that's just to mention that aspect. Second, I don't know everything, but before you dismiss my analysis, maybe you would want to read a book on the subject, because I read a lot about this. Third, nobody knows what's going to happen with the protests. I'm just speaking from what we're seeing right now. Today is December 9th. And fourth, I realize that the protests in France are super complex, and I'm just going to talk about one aspect or one angle that I see that I think is a good one, which is why I want to comment about it. Okay, so the protesters in France right now seem to be, in average, like working class people who just feel like they are being marginalized, like their lives are being more complicated, more expensive, and they feel a greater distance to the political elite and to the economical elite. And this is happening not only in France, but in all of Europe, and in the States. And what's interesting is that usually what we see as a reaction to that is people voting for fascist, neo-fascist parties and protesting downwards instead of upwards. We see like the working class taking this frustration out on immigrants, women, gay people, minorities. And in France, for the first time in a long time now, we see people protesting upwards against the government and the economical and political elite. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the revolutionary background of the country. But I think this is good news, because it's very tragic to see how this distance that everyday life, ordinary working class people feel, make people vote for clowns and fascists like Donald Trump, and here in Sweden we have racist neo-fascist parties, and even in Brazil it's happening now. So that is like an opening for another turn of it. So I know that these are very complex issues, everything comes together, and I would like to recommend this book that I'm reading right now, Can Democracy Survive Global Capitalism, by Robert Kuttner. Because this book is about how democracies are being like hijacked by the free market that is now like deciding over the governments instead of the governments deciding over the free markets. And where does this leave working class people, who are like the citizens, who are supposed to be controlling the government, who are feeling more and more powerless, and how we deal with this and how not to turn this frustration into fascism. So that is my hope. I hope that we will watch out on our behavior, to not sell out weak groups and to not sell out minorities, but to actually go after the people who have responsibility, who benefit from the economical system now, because they can afford it. Refugees, women, minorities, gay people cannot afford it. The economical elite can afford it. So do you have to be a socialist to agree with this analysis? I don't know. You read your own books and make your own conclusions, but I just want to provide extra analysis. Okay, take care of each other, people.